tequila. Woo! Okay. Hi friends, welcome to episode 68 of the Quirky Monday Craftcast. My name is Kalisha and you can find me anywhere online as the Dear Toni. Thank you so much for coming to spend some time with me today. If you are a new viewer, welcome. And if you're a returning viewer, welcome back. I'm coming to you from my home in Central Florida where it is a beautiful day today. Not too hot when you're in the shade. When you're in the sun, it gets a little warm. But I'm sitting in the backyard. You guys can see my little container garden. Not really much of a container garden as for real. But that right there is a pineapple plant. And these two here are mangoes. I think that's everything that I say at the beginning of the episodes. Alright, so I have some finished objects to show you, a couple works in progress, some plans, you know, the usual. So we'll jump right in with finished objects, and the first one is my first started and finished object of 2019. So this is the Belleplaine Beanie by Jeanette Sloan. I will lean in, give you guys a look-see. Oh, hopefully you can see that, because I see that it did blow out the background quite a bit. But this is I think it's written actually to be a more fitted beanie, but I added some extra rows to make it more slouchy and to make it accommodate my hair. But I think I added 4 rows before the crown decreases, I think. But yeah, this is knit from Loops and Threads Charisma in the forest colorway, I believe it is. I used 1 ball and I had like a little nugget left. Probably enough to do a pom-pom if I wanted to put a pom-pom on this, but I don't think this one needs a pom-pom. So there's that. I really love the finished product. When I first finished it, if you don't know, the Loops and Threads Charisma. The Loops and Threads Charisma is acrylic, and I can definitely see how knitting this hat would probably be easier on a yarn that has a bit more elasticity. Well, has elasticity because acrylic has none. There are purl two together through the back loops stitches in this hat, and that was really difficult for me using the large needles and the large yarn to like maneuver that stitch. It took a lot of like elbow grease, and like speaking of elbows, my elbow is a little bit sore now. But I just kind of, I think it was Saturday night that I finished the hat, and I did all of the decreases that night. I just kind of like got in the zone and was like, I'm finishing this hat, because I was just so excited to see the finished object and to see what it really looked like. Because one thing I noticed when I decided to make the hat, I was looking at people's projects on Ravelry, and there's I think only 3 listed, or like 3 shown under the pattern. One of them, the girl said that her hat came out way too big and you couldn't really, like, the hat was huge on her. Mine had no fit problem, so maybe it was like a yarn choice or gauge or something like that. I don't know. But because I saw that she had fit problems, I definitely wanted to do a gauge swatch, which showed me that I needed to go down a needle size from what the pattern called for. which was great. I'm glad I knew that ahead of time. And as I was knitting, like when I finished the body, I tried it on, and I was not confident that if I started the decreases then my hair, like the hat would fit. Like it would fit around here, but it wouldn't like accommodate all my hair. So I added the extra rows and then did the decreases. Another thing that I noticed from looking at other people's project pages were the other two projects showed fitting hats, like hats that fit the people wearing them, but they didn't really show the hat. So I think the pattern sample of the hat, it's like a front-on picture of like a person like looking off to the side like this, so you can see like a little bit of the lace pattern and stuff like that. And I want to say there's a picture of it from another angle or something, but I didn't like, when you look through all of the pictures from the pattern, from the projects that are up, you don't really get to see like a 360 view of the item. So it was almost a surprise to me how the crown was going to look, like how that was going to work up. So to my delight, the whole crown is the lace. So I was really excited about that because Florida. And I really love how this hat fits. I wore it to work on Sunday, wore it all day, had no problems with it slipping off or anything like that. Like, love it. And I'm definitely going to make another one. I think what I'm going to do for my second version though, I am going to convert the pattern to be worked in the round, because it is a hat pattern that's worked flat. So I did have to seam. Part of me wanted to like look up how to seam, like how to do the mattress stitch and stuff again, but I was like, nah, I'm just gonna sew it together. Can't be that hard. So I'm not entirely sure what kind of stitch I used. I want to say it's like a ladder stitch where you're essentially going like this across like the two edges of the fabric are like here, and then I'm stitching like looping around each edge like that. I think it's called a ladder stitch. If it's not, I'll correct myself. It's fine. So the seam looks pretty good, if I do say so myself, and I'll insert a picture of it so that you can see it, because releasing the beast right now would be unfortunate for us all. But it is so nicely enclosed in my lovely hat. But like I said, I will definitely be making another one. I want to make like a bright colored one. So it might end up being like this kind of yellow or like a pink. I kind of keep envisioning a pink. And I think that's because Hannah from the Cozy Cottage Crochet, I feel like I mention Hannah all the time, but Hannah from the Cozy Cottage Crochet recently like designed this pink, it's like a pink and orange bulky weight hat, I think, and just the color like jumped out to me and was like, hey, don't you want me in your life? So I think I might need this hat in pink. We'll see. But that is my first finished object. That is my first finished object of my Make 9. So huzzah, we are off to a good start. My second finished object is actually, let me just show this to you before I make a mess. So I have a like tea infuser teapot type deal from IKEA, which you guys would have seen before. So this is a teapot from IKEA, and I crocheted this cozy for it. So this is how the teapot looks. Don't spill the tea. So this is how the teapot looks by itself. And when I bought it, I was like, oh, this is so cute. I love it. It's nice. It's like minimal. You can see your tea. I don't know why, but I love seeing the tea in the container. But the thing about it is when I hold it, my fingers always touch the glass right here. And that can be painful when there's like boiling water in here. So I kept saying to myself, oh, I'll just make something to go around it. And I never did. So today was the day. And I just crocheted this little cozy for it. Now, I didn't follow a pattern or anything. I literally just, I guess I should show it to you when it's not on the container. I crocheted like a flat circle, and then I did a row of single crochets in the front loop only, back loop, one of the loops. I did that side only, which caused it to have like a stronger edge. And then I started doing double crochets up the side, and I decreased every so often because this does taper in a little bit. Decreased every so often. And then, yeah, kept trying it on. That's about it really. As you can see, I did one row in the round, and then I started going back and forth flat so that you have the space for the handle. And then when I tied off, I left the long tail, and then I tied the other tail to this side so I can tie it in a little bow. You know, I've basically made a baby bonnet. Oh, would you look at that? It's a tea cozy that doubles as a baby bonnet. And I feel like that's like baby head size too. That's fun. But yeah, so it just slides right on there, and then you tie it in place. And no more burnt fingers for Kalisha. Hooray! And the tea that I'm drinking today is my peach rooibos tea that I got from a little shop in Mount Dora, Florida. So it's like this little spice and tea shop that has like all kinds of flavored teas and stuff in it. And it's really good. Hi, Kiva. Where's your sister? Oh, can you guys see her? There's a Tootie. Are you gonna come up? No? Yes? You wanna come up? No? Oh. Tootie's here. Tootie, do you wanna come up? Of course you wanna come up. Come on. Tootie, the podcast star. Sit. So that's all we have for finished objects today. That was it? That's all you wanted? That's all the screen time you wanted? You should sit in the shade. You're gonna get too hot. Anyway, so that was all for finished objects, and let's show the works in progress. And I also have two. Both of them I showed last week. We have a crochet work in progress and a knit work in progress. So let's show the crochet one first, because that one has changed the most. So this is my Nalya wrap, which is I'm using my Kwanzaa mini skeins. So this is how much I have so far. I've got a tiny little row of the next color. So last week when you saw it, it was here at this red. So since then, yeah, you can see it better like this if I hold it in front of myself. So since the red, I've done this variegated, and this is a red, black, and green variegated that I dyed over open flame. Then we have the separating row of the gray. This is the first color, which is Modavera Noir. The colorway number is S4633. Another stripe of gray. And then we have this one, which is Mosley Park Yarns, the Noble colorway. and then another stripe of gray, and then the one that we are just now starting is this one, and that is One Twisted Tree and I Was the Prey. So I am loving this pattern. I love how simple it is. I love how it's literally like a 2-row repeat. I've got it memorized, so this has been my like chilling on the couch with Lamar watching a movie crochet, and I'm really enjoying it. So yeah, it's gonna be pretty long because I have 7 colorways to go in, you know, the days stripes, and each one of these stripes is 16 rows, and then after I finish all of the days, then I'm going to do this color pattern here in reverse on the other side. So this is going to be really, really long. I'm excited. I love it. And I really like the uneven chevron. It's really cool. It's a lot of fun. So yeah, that is my Nalya wrap by SharaMade. SharaMade? I feel like it's SharaMade. But she has the crochet version, and she also has a knitted version of the shawl. I don't remember what the knitted version is called, but both of them are available on her Ravelry. And that's everything for this project. Where's my crochet hook? Uh-oh. Crochet hook is lost. I also have this little bowl that I put the ball, like the yarn ball in. So I guess it's like my little yarn bowl. I got it from the Goodwill for like $1.99. I love little containers like this, like natural wood color containers. I don't know why, but they just make me happy. This one does need a little bit of sanding though, because whatever the finish on it is starting to come off. There was a set of like 4 or 5, no, it was a set of 5. Whatever it was an odd number. So I bought one so that then there will be an even number set, and that makes more sense. So all of that lives in my little bag. This sidebar, this shape, this is my wide mouth bag that I had in the shop, in my Etsy shop last year for like one update. And I call it the wide mouth bag because it opens wide. It's got a rounded top, and comment down below if you would like to see more bags in this shape. I'm thinking about modifying the pattern to make it taller, but I do like, you know, the rounded top, how wide it opens. Like I'm able to get a bowl in there comfortably. So let me know if that's something that you'd be interested in. I'll see what I can do. The next work in progress is my main star shawl, and this is a pattern. This is the second pattern in my Make 9 that I've started working on, and the main star shawl is by Zakia of Ladywing Designs and Ladywing Crafts podcast. And I am knitting it from this hand spun yarn. This was hand spun by Jade of the So Perfect Pearls podcast, and it is Vintage Rose by Hobbledehoy. Now, when you guys saw this last, I was right here, so it was just a little nugget of a pattern, and it was also on circulars. So I have decided to move it to straight needles because I felt like the circulars were getting fiddly. And this is actually my first time knitting on straight needles since I like first learned how to knit in 2010, I think, like roundabout then. It was shortly after I graduated college, because it was in my first apartment, and I knit this like short, one of those short scarves that buttons, so like you bring it around and it buttons like this. I knit one of those for my aunt, and I knit it on these huge straight needles, and I did the pattern from watching a Threadbanger video. Did any of you guys watch Threadbanger? I used to love Threadbanger. Are they still making videos? I need to find this out. Or maybe I'll just go back and watch old Threadbanger videos. I think I'm going to do that when I clean later on today. But anyway, back to this project. I am knitting these on straight needles, or knitting this on straight needles. Last week I was talking about how I felt like this pattern was easy enough for me to memorize, but for some reason I couldn't memorize it, and I was thinking that that was probably because every time I was working on it was late at night, and I was absolutely right, because when I picked it up like in the light of day and looked at the pattern, it's definitely like, it's like a 2-row repeat with a 3rd row, you know, in there every so often. So yeah, it's memorized. And I did make a couple mistakes in here, but you cannot tell. It did not alter the shape of the shawl. There are no like, ooh, she messed up there. So I'm just chugging right along with this. It is, since it's getting longer, I'm able to like do more while I'm knitting. Because it is just stockinette, like a stockinette body, I can do stockinette while reading. So yeah, since it's gotten longer, I'm able to do more reading while I'm knitting on this project. You know, actually I can move this progress keeper now. So let's go ahead and do that. I am really enjoying knitting with the hand spun. Last time I was talking about like the blips of color. Let me see if I can show you some of them. Like there's a hot pink, there's a bright blue, there's a yellow splash in here. There it is. There's a yellow splash. It's so cool. And from far away, that's how the colors are melding. So down here, it was doing a lot of like striping, but as the rows get longer, the stripes are not so apparent, which I definitely appreciate. Wasn't really going for a striped look. Oh, there's orange in here too. Oh, there's some orange there. Fun times, fun times. But yes, so that is project number 2 from my Make 9. And as much as I want to keep this project in this bag, my needles are too tall. See? My needles are too tall for the bag. So I've just been like hoping that they don't like get snatched out or anything like that. So those are my 2 works in progress. You wanna come up? There we go. Hey, big girl. You can't have my tea. Leave my tea alone. Let me move that. He was eyeing my tea. You don't drink tea. You're a puppy. Tea is not for puppies. Anywho, next we'll go on to maker plans, and I have one. It's the 3rd project from my Make 9, and it is a crochet project. I think, no, it's not the only crochet project in my Make 9. There's 2. Yeah, there's 2. So I am going to be I'm going to be using this yarn. This is Lion Brand Jeans. I doubt very seriously that the camera is in the same place, because Toot started running at the fence because she heard something, and Kiva always has her sister's back, so she jumped off my lap, tried to go underneath the tripod, hit it with her hip. It was an earthquake, and now they're both staring at the fence. Y'all good? Protect the empire. Anyway, what I was saying was I'm going to be using this yarn. This is Lion Brand Jeans in the Stovepipe colorway. So it's like a black and gray, yeah, a black and gray like tonal kind of yarn. And I'm going to be making the Summertime Tee by TL Yarn Crafts. Now, I am starting it today because she's actually hosting a crochet along, and it starts today. And I didn't say earlier, but today is January 7th, Monday, January 7th. So I am going to be starting this probably later on this afternoon because I have like adulting to do, like cleaning the house. Bah. But I'm going to start this later on, and I'm really, really excited for this top because I have seen finished objects of this pattern, and it just looks so comfortable and Florida appropriate, and I'm really excited. So yeah, that is my only maker plan for this episode. I haven't cast on the maker plans from last episode, my birthday socks or the white ribbed beanie. So those are still up in the air. So this one will definitely get cast on. I do need to cast on my birthday socks so that I can have those to work on so that I can wear them on my birthday. But yeah. I thought I didn't have any stash acquisitions, but I actually did. This yarn was a Christmas gift from my friend Cherie. I saw her last Friday. Yeah, we were supposed to go out for coffee, but then we didn't. We ended up just sitting at her house, and it was really like calm and relaxing. She had the windows open. It started raining. It was like the introvert's perfect afternoon, and we just sat, chatted. I was like knitting or crocheting or something, and it was great. So she gave me this yarn. This is Isaac Mizrahi Craft. What type? It's the Carnegie Hill base style. Let's go with style. It's a Carnegie Hill style. So what it is a like unspun roving wrapped with this like, I don't even know what you would call this, loopy, sparkly, rick-rackety yarn, string, whatever. But this is what it looks like. And I've actually looked at this yarn in, where's this from? Michaels. I've actually looked at this in Michaels before, but because I don't really like do a lot of novelty yarn projects, I never pick it up. So when she gave this to me for Christmas, I was like, cool. So now I can like do something with this, like with little commitment. So I made the cozy out of this one, and it used maybe a third of the ball. And what I think I want to do with this one, which may or may not work, is I want to split it. So I'm going to put it on, I'm going to put it through my ball winder and take out all of the like the loopy bit and ball up all of the like roving, because this is a number 5 bulky, which is the same weight that the hat that this Belleplaine beanie is made out of. So I figure I might be able to make another Belleplaine out of this, which might be really cool. It might also be a fail, but I'm gonna try it. So that's what I'm gonna do with this one. And this is the Palazzo colorway, and this one is Avenito Park. Oh, lies. I'm not even reading the English one. This is Park Avenue and Palazzo. Avenue Park. So those are my stash positions for this week. I don't know what I'm going to do with the rest of this one, but this one's definitely getting split. Judy, be quiet, please. Get out of my tea. So that brings us to Black Fibers, Black Threads. And this week I wanted to highlight a blog post that I read. It is by the Instagram user Shar's Pearls, and it's called Black People Knit. And of course, whenever I come across a new post about Black people in knitting, or Black people in the yarn sphere, I always read it, because even though I know that there are a plethora of amazing, talented Black makers, knitters, crocheters, designers, etc., the verbal space that we take up and the visual space that we take up is much more narrow than everybody else. And I loved reading her article because it was one that showed a person wanting to bring light to an experience. Like, what is it like to be a Black knitter? What is it like to be a Black crocheter or a Black person in yarn craft, right? One of the things that I identified with was when she was talking about her experiences in yarn shops, and unfortunately it hasn't always been like a positive experience for her. In the post, she speaks about her experiences as a Black knitter and almost feeling like, in some light, a unicorn, like, oh my gosh, it's a Black person who knits. And then also in some light, an exhibition, you know, oh my gosh, it's a Black person who knits. And I very much identified with both of those feelings. You know, there have been times when I go to like a knit night and I am the only person of color there, and it can be a very othering feeling when you don't see anyone around that looks like you doing this thing. It would be wonderful if you did see a more diverse face in real life. I love, and I feel like I've said this before, but I love what the diversity hashtag has done as far as showing a more diverse face of knitting, of crocheting, of like yarn crafting online. And you know, I feel like things are more movable online than they tend to be offline. I really did enjoy reading Shar's Pearls blog post because it made me feel like, okay, I'm not the only person that has these feelings. I'm not the only person that has gone into a yarn shop and felt like everybody's staring at me. I'm not the only person who has gone into a yarn shop and had like not so pleasant experiences with people there. I was really happy to see her taking up that space. And that's one thing that I want to find more ways to do like in this year. I don't know how I can expand Black Fibers, Black Threads, but I do want to use it as a platform to take up space, to have a seat at this yarny table, if you will, and to be seen and appreciated and valued and touted, and you know, just I feel like you know what I'm saying. And I feel like that blog post that I read, it kind of gave me another push. Like, this is something that our community needs. And this is something that we need as a minority group, and not just Black people. Like, people of color definitely need spaces or avenues to take up space and to be present within this craft that we so much love. You know, that idea that representation matters comes to mind. So I'm going to continue sharing different designers with you guys. I'm going to continue sharing different yarn dyers with you guys as I discover them. And always, like, if you guys come across any anything that you think I would enjoy learning for Black Fibers, Black Threads, definitely leave those in the comments, because I am not always poring over every piece of media that comes my, like, that I can get my hands on, looking for these things. Like, I'm always on the lookout for anything to pop up. But if you come across something, or like an article or a blog post, or a new designer or a new indie dyer, or, you know, someone in the Black community that's doing something fibery, and you think, I think Kalisha would like this, send it to me. I would love that. And I will be absolutely happy to share that with the rest of our community here, because that's what I love to do. So I definitely say go and take a look at Shara's Pearl's blog post. I will put a link to her Instagram. I'm pretty sure that it is linked in her profile. If it's not, I will also put a link directly to the blog post so that you can read it. Go show her some love. Check out the rest of her blog. And I am excited to see other people pushing for more diversity and more visibility. It's not, you know, it's not that we're pushing for more diversity in the community. It's more visible diversity in the community, because the community is amazingly diverse, right? We all know this. But if someone who is like, specifically, if someone who is not active in the online knitting community, it's very easy for them to think that, oh my goodness, there's like no diversity in like yarn craft. Like, it's all this particular small section of people, when we know for a fact that it's a wide, crazy wide section of people. So I love seeing people who are putting a lens on the different and showing the different sections within our community. And I think that's great. Another thing, I don't know if I've mentioned it on here, but I always have a link to the to Jeanette Sloan's directory for like designers of color, and she's actually doing a new directory for I don't think she's doing a new directory. I think she's adding it to the existing one. But the way that she came up with the directory originally was putting out a call and saying, how many Black knitwear designers can you name? How many Black crochet designers can you name? And she's put up a new one of how many Asian knitwear and crochet designers can you name? And so she's building that up. So I would definitely encourage you to go to her Instagram. It's one of her pictures on there is just a text picture. And if you know Asian designers, and in the post, like, she specifies like what she means by Asian designers. If you know anyone that fits that demographic, definitely comment and put them in there so that they can be recognized as designers of color, and you know, have light shown on their work. So yes, That was Black Fibers, Black Threads, y'all. Take a sip of tea. Make sure there's no bugs in it. And that's everything for the fibery content. And lastly, we have life and whatnot. I feel like I haven't been doing a whole lot. I haven't been working a lot because Christmas season ends like a brick wall to the face. It's literally like the 23rd, crazy amounts of people coming in for pictures, like crazy sauce, crazy sauce. The 24th, we're open for like a half day, and it's still crazy sauce people coming in. Closed for Christmas. The 26th, you might have like people coming in that, you know, still that were visiting with family for Christmas. The 27th, ghost town. January, water pictures. That's how life is right now. So I am aiming to use all of this free time that I have to work on my Etsy shop. And I've been thinking about introducing like a weekly vlog kind of thing. Is that something you guys would be interested in? Let me know down below. But yeah, I've been kind of thinking about that, like playing around with that idea. But one of the like main highlights of my last week was the quadranted meteor shower. And it peaked on the night of January 3rd. So January 3rd into the morning of the 4th. And when I got home, I forget what day of the week the 3rd was, but Friday? I don't know, whatever it was. When I got home, it was cloudy, and I was like, okay, sky, y'all gypped me with the Gemini meteor shower. I was super excited about it. Y'all wanted to be all cloudy for like 3 days. Couldn't see anything. I'm really upset about this. So you got a couple hours to clear out these clouds so I can see this meteor shower. Pep talk for the sky. And I came back outside at midnight, and it was still a little bit cloudy. So I gave this guy another pep talk. I was like, look, I'm coming out here 2 in the morning. What I'm gonna need you to do, if you're gonna have some clouds, I need them to be on the edges of the sky, not in the middle where I'm like trying to be looking. Okay, work with me. So I came back out 2 a.m. and the sky was clear. I was super excited. So I had like my sleeping bag, another blanket, a pillow. I laid them out on the driveway, and I just laid back and, you know, stared at the sky. Now, if you have ever watched a meteor shower, you would understand how actively and inactively you have to look at the sky. So whenever you hear about meteor showers, they have their names are based on where they radiate from. And we use radiate loosely, very loosely. So for instance, the Geminid meteor showers radiate from the constellation Gemini. So this particular meteor shower, I think it radiates from a particular area, because I don't think it's from a specific constellation. But the area of the sky, right, that it radiated from was near Boots the Herdsman. So I was like, okay, cool, I know where that is. So the idea is that from this particular point, they like fly out that way. That's the idea. However, you don't want to look at that point, right? So if I'm supposed to be like, let's just use like the Big Dipper, because everybody can kind of visualize the Big Dipper. Maybe not. Let's use Orion, because I feel like that's a more easier to visualize in your head, like the 3 stars, Orion's belt, right? So if we have a meteor shower radiating from Orion's belt. You don't look directly at Orion's belt because you will miss everything, which seems counterintuitive. You look generally in that direction at the whole sky. So I'm literally like laying on the ground with my kind of you pay attention to your field of vision as well as the peripheral, because more than likely you will just see meteors in your peripheral. So I saw a total of 5 and I stayed out for like an hour and a half. It was supposed to be like super active, like up to 20 meteors to be like visible meteors within an hour. But I feel like I would have been able to see more if I had gotten to a place that had less light, like less light pollution, because I live in a cul-de-sac and there's a street light and the street light never goes off. So I want like so badly for one of these meteor showers this year, so that to get out into like the country where there's like dirt roads and no light, because I think that would be amazing. I don't know how I'm going to work that out, but that's what I want to do for one of the meteor showers of 2019. The next meteor shower is the Lyrid meteor shower, and that one takes place in April. So maybe I'll be laying out in my driveway for that again. One funny thing though, if you watch my Vlogmas, you know that there was one day when Lamar and I were driving home and we saw like a bear, like a grown bear, walking down this sidewalk. It wasn't in our neighborhood, but it was close enough for it to be like a rational thought that there are bears in my neighborhood. And Lamar told me like straight up, he was like, yeah, there's bears in our neighborhood a lot. So here I am laying out in my driveway like on a sleeping bag, staring up at the sky at like between 2 and 3:30 in the morning. And you would think that between 2 and 3:30 in the morning, animals would be sleeping. There was so much chatter and snacking happening in the trees. Like, I don't know what these like squirrels or birds or whatever it was were doing. Like, they were having a banquet and it was all crunchy. And then there was like rustling in the grass and stuff, and every time I heard a sound, I'm jumping up thinking that a bear was about to come get me. Like, I had like escape plans, like, okay, Kalisha, if you hear something and you look up and you see a bear, what are you gonna do? I was like near the car, so I was like, okay, make sure the car's unlocked. You see something that looks bear-like, you slowly get up and get in the car, and that's where you're gonna stay until morning. Like, these are the thoughts that were going through my head in between meteors. Like, I was like, man, I think I need a tent. I need a tent that has like an open ceiling. Is that a thing? I don't know. A playpen? But yeah, so I was like jumping up every 2 seconds, like, what was that sound? But yeah. So that was stressful and fun. I'm so glad that I was able to catch some of the meteors. The very first one that I saw was the best one. Like, it streaked across the sky like full tail awesome, right? It was very, very clear. After I saw that one, mind you, it was the first one. After I saw that, I was like, I think I'm good. I could go inside. But the thing about meteor showers is when you see the first one, you just want to see another one. Like, oh man, they're really there. It's really happening. I just want to see another one. I just want to see another one. It's like when you're knitting, like striping socks. You just want to do one more stripe, one more pattern repeat. It was just like one more meteor. Come on, where are you? One more meteor. And I had to force myself to go inside at 3:30 because it was just getting too cold. So, like I said, that was the highlight of my week. And yeah, I had mentioned earlier when I was talking about the shawl that I'm knitting that I knit that and read. And I'm currently reading book 5 of the Harry Potter series, so Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix. And I am like this much into the book that is this thick. That is a strictly read at home book because I'm not carrying that around. And because I want to like read it more often, I did go ahead and request the ebook from my library. So of course there's none available. I have a hold on it. There's like 25 copies and like 3 people waiting for each copy. So I'll probably finish reading the physical book before I get the ebook. But so that's everything that's going on in Kalisha land. Thank you so much for spending this time with me today. I hope you're having a wonderful day, great weekend, whatever it is when you're watching this. I hope it's great. Leave a comment down below of something positive that happened to you so that we can all celebrate that positivity. And thank you so much for being a part of my universe. Bye!